be able to adjust and set up for them. So I think the biggest thing for the Celtics is they know they got to be more organized, be more aggressive the way they played in the fourth quarter and overtime, coming back from a double-digit deficit against the Sixers. I think the one thing that you could see for them as far as an adjustment in this next game is Jaylen Brown. He's been the guy that they said has been their tone setter in this series. He's been the guy to pick up James Harden, defend James Harden, really picking him up full court for most of the series. In the first quarter, they've been flowing the offense through him. He's been their playmaker and their scorer. And then he kind of loses his way somewhere through the rest of the game. In game 4 the other night, he only took 3 shots in the fourth quarter and overtime combined. And they really need
45 also tied for the third most in a road playoff game in 76ers franchise history. Despite just 7 points from Jason Tatum, the C's got back on track with a 34-point win over the Sixers in Game 2. Jaylen Brown finishing with 25 points and 4 assists. It was his 5th 25-point game this postseason. In Game 3, Tatum got back on track with 27 points and a 12-point win to help the Celtics take a 2-1 lead in this series. Tatum himself outscoring the entire Sixers team in the final 3 minutes of that game. But in Game 4, the Sixers tied the series behind James Harden's 42. That also included a go-ahead 3 with 19 seconds left in overtime. Harden 2 of 2 on go-ahead shots inside the final 30 seconds of the fourth quarter, or OT, in this series. And earlier today's shoot-around, Malcolm Brogdon was asked about the mood heading into Game 5. It is new on SportsCenter.
Just focused, locked in. It's a must-win for us. It's a must-win.
What did you guys learn from Game 4?
Just the details. The details ended up biting us in the end. But we were resilient. Hostile environment, a must-win game for Philly. I thought we gave them a good game, but we just didn't finish exactly how we wanted. There is frustration, there is anger about losing games that we feel like we should have won, but we're going to stay encouraged regardless. We're playing a good team. There's a lot of respect on this end for that team in Philly, but these are games we should have won, and we're going to come out the right way tonight. It's a desperation mindset for us tonight. We have to have this one.
Who's in the game, what defensive adjustments you may make.
All right, all that being said, series is tied at 2. Besides James Harden and Joel Embiid, who else in your mind needs to step up for the Sixers tonight?
Well, Tyrese Maxey, right? I'm waiting for him now to make his presence felt. This is a guy that averaged 20 points a game in the regular season, has really struggled to find his footing, particularly in the last 2 games, but really hasn't been felt as a big-time scorer since Game 1, and he's just too talented. So I think he's a guy now that could potentially seize upon the attention that James Harden must get in Game 5. If you're the Boston Celtics, you're now at the point you see what James Harden is capable of doing to you if you don't give him the appropriate level of concern that you need to. And with what Embiid's going to get in terms of commanding attention, that means there are opportunities there for Maxey in the open floor, on kickouts. He's got to be more aggressive, try to get something going early in the game to get his confidence up. But there's so much more there for him. That's a good sign for the Sixers.
All right, Tim, you hang tight. Let's go over to Sage for tonight's other big Game 5. Sage?
Like I said, I'm living with those, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a position where
involved in the offense late. I think that everything will sort of flow better, but the Celtics still feel encouraged. You heard Malcolm call it a must-win game. They're coming in with this mindset here to take care of business on the Sixers tonight because they know they're going to get another good shot from Philly.
Jamal Collier with the latest heading into Game 5 tonight. All right, let's bring in NBA analyst Tim Legler. Tim, you heard Jamal there. Joe Mazzulla saying he should have called a timeout on that final possession, even apologizing to the team. The team says, no, we're good. We thought we can handle it. What's been your reaction to the coaching in Boston in late game situations?
Yeah, listen, this is a different level of pressure for Mazzulla, right? He's done a great job, and by all accounts, and this is a guy that is ready for this. But these moments are different now. The pressure is different, and these games do often hinge on a couple of possessions late. The one thing I wouldn't have done if I were Mazzulla was I wouldn't have necessarily admitted that publicly. You know what? You say, this is what we're going to do. This is what we went with. We rolled with it. It didn't work out. Maybe I'll make a different decision the next time around, but I'm happy with the decision we made. I think that otherwise you open yourself up to a lot of second guessing. But here's the thing. They have not handled late game possessions well. The other night, not getting a shot off in that situation, it's the one thing you can't let happen is to not get a field goal attempt with the game on the line. And you can even go back to earlier in the series when they went to Marcus Smart in the post in a late game situation and they turned the ball over without getting a shot and didn't really get Jason Tatum involved in the action at all. So these are real issues for this team. It's a coach going through this level of pressure for the first time. things happen a little bit quicker in the playoffs. There's more riding on these decisions.
Take him again.
He took it because he thought he could make it. Everybody thinks he can make it because that's what he does. As for the Lakers, they took over the fourth quarter again thanks to Lonnie Walker IV. LA outscoring the Warriors by 10 with Walker making as many field goals as the Warriors did in the final quarter. Walker's 15 is his most in any playoff quarter in his career, which begs the question, did the Lakers ultimately win this game or did the Warriors lose it? Stephen A. Smith in the First Take Crew debated.
Well, I thought the Warriors lost it, but I'm not trying to take any credit away from the Los Angeles Lakers, particularly Lonnie Walker IV.